structures at the lower levels, particularly at the decentralized levels. Today we have policies and programs better structured. Of course, we have the legislative framework. That's the first thing that is critical to give us guidance as to what we should be doing. Therefore, I want to take this opportunity definitely to thank you on behalf of Council as well, because that is one of the structures that is responsible for policy matters. That's composed of ministers mainly, and others, but mainly ministers that run the affairs of the disaster management program as a whole in the Gambia.
Madam Jai Seidi said prevention and resilience are the focus of their attention, which will help in a bid to mitigate disasters. For GRTS News, I am Estomane.
Well, you can follow that story and other GRTS programs live on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Time now to take our first break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned in.
Song to your callers with the AfriCell Fun Ring service.
To activate the Fun Ring service on your AfriCell line, type FUN and send it by SMS to 139 and have a different fun ring anytime you want.
To set this song as your fun ring, type SET followed by 11261 and send it by SMS to 139.
The code for this song is 11961.
11017 11161 11171.
And don't forget, you can always use the Fun Ring search engine to find your favorite Fun Ring code by typing the name of the song or the performer and send it by SMS to 138.
Keep your callers entertained by playing your favorite music on your AfriCell line.
AfriCell Fun Ring. Welcome back. Two of Libya's most wanted fugitives are now in custody. The former Libya leader's son, Saif al-Islam Gaddafi, was captured Saturday, just a day after revolutionary fighters caught up with the nation's former intelligence chief Abdullah al-Sanusi. Joanna Cadares has details of al-Sanusi's arrest from Tripoli.
There's little information on the operation that led to the capture of Abdullah Sanusi, Muammar Gaddafi's former head of intelligence and brother-in-law. According to the National Transitional Council, it was fighters from southern Libya who managed to capture Sanusi on Sunday. They say that they had information that pinpointed his location a few days ago, and they managed to move in on him, staying at a relative's house near the city of Sabha on Sunday, and make that arrest. The spokesman for the National Transitional Council, Abdul Hafid Ghoga, telling a press conference that Sanusi will stand trial here in Libya, although he is also wanted by the International Criminal Court. The same applies for Saif al-Islam Gaddafi, Muammar Gaddafi's son, captured on Saturday. According to Ghoga, he also will stand trial here in Libya. Ghoga telling the press conference no Libyan will be handed over for trial outside, saying it is a matter of sovereignty. For now, he says Saif al-Islam Gaddafi will be kept in the city of Zintan in the western mountains, where he was taken by the fighters from that city who captured him. Ghoga saying the reason for that is security reasons, saying there are remnants of the former regime still operating in cities like Tripoli, and it will be more secure for him to stay in Zintan until procedures are done and ready for him to stand trial. He says an investigative committee has been set to prepare the case against Saif Gaddafi. Also, Ghoga saying that the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Luis Marina Ocampo, is expected in Libya. He is supposed to arrive here in a matter of hours, according to Ghoga. He says his visit has nothing to do with the extradition of Saif or Abdullah Sanusi, saying that he is here to check on the condition of these two men who are wanted by the International Criminal Court, and he says they have the right to do that. Jumana Karache, CNN, Tripoli.
Egypt's health ministry says more than 20 people have died in 3 days of clashes between protesters and security forces. The interim government is calling for calm, but with just a week to go until the historic elections, the violence in Cairo and elsewhere recalls the struggle that brought down Hosni Mubarak just 9 months ago. Demonstrators returned to the streets of Cairo on Monday, protesting about the proposal by the army that the military budget be shielded from the public scrutiny. CNN's Ben Wiedemann has more.
These clashes actually have been going on for about 48 hours. Tahrir Square behind me is relatively calm. Obviously, traffic is not going through it anymore. Most of the clashes are taking place to the east of here around the Ministry of the Interior, which, of course, many Egyptians still believe is the source of police brutality and the kind of repressive measures that they revolted against back in February when they overthrew the dictatorship of Hosni Mubarak. And there's really no question about it. This is some of the worst violence in Egypt since the overthrow of Mubarak.
Much has changed in Egypt in the last 10 months, but Sunday in Cairo was a day of déjà vu. Running street battles raged around Tahrir Square between protesters and security forces in a growing revolt against the Supreme Council of the Armed Forces, which took over from Hosni Mubarak last February. Tear gas and rocks flew fast and furious. Security forces fired upon protesters with hard rubber pellets like these. This is what the police of Egypt are using against us, says Zahra. They're killing the youth of Egypt, shooting them in the eyes. I tell her, we were here on January 25th. It was the same scene. What has changed? Nothing has changed, she responds. We've gone backwards. The military council is garbage. Mubarak is still alive and well, and the people are dying. Shouts this man. Mubarak is running the military council and the whole country from prison. Mubarak and all the corrupt businessmen around him. Motorbikes rushed the wounded to a makeshift field hospital, the same one that treated those injured during the uprising against Mubarak. To the protesters, the new military rulers look an awful lot like the old one.
On January 25th, we were on this very street and we were also tear gassed. Now, months and months later, it's November and the same thing is happening all over again. Shukran. So now, of course, here you see, some of the services provided by the revolutionaries. They're putting saline solution in our eyes, giving us Kleenex to wipe it off.
What has changed is the once cowed and silenced people of Egypt have found their voice. Whoever ends up running this country will have to contend with a politicized, vocal, and demanding population that has learned to fight back. In a statement, the government said people have the right to protest peacefully as long as they don't commit acts that threaten Egypt's stability.
Well, time now to take a second break. We'll be right back.
Bro.
Eka funti.
Nga finti la ngata saram binkil.
Nko fo ya hakilo bun. Mun ila travel insurance auto koto.
Mun travel insurance. Numbo so no la mindu.
Isi o certain Gambian National Insurance Company. Membe Kairava Avenue. Kabin sanje tan savani woro wala command. Wol be ngin bankun kan ka mol tanka. Ila moton cordal ila kodo ani jara kende afan. Ila doko ye wonole. Ila nayata andi kila kanindro jo awatol.
Woto mbatu ngam binkila table ji ngata travel insurance ni folo.
Du kare okay. Kada sama le bita.
Ha sama le.
Kana ke kumere mfile.
Okay. Mban ngata wo.
Okay.
Gambia National Insurance Company Limited. Alfred Nabi, Prala Insurance Hajol Mume.
Welcome back, and before we go, a reminder of our headlines. President Jammeh and Burkina Faso's Foreign Minister Jibril Bassouli have been discussing President Blaise Compaore's proposed visit to the Gambia. The Disaster Management Agency's efforts at disaster mitigation have received a financial boost from the Banjul Reform Club. Protests sparked by the Egyptian military's proposal to protect the defense budget from public scrutiny have left over 20 people dead. And revolutionary fighters have captured Libya's fugitive former intelligence chief Abdullah al-Sanusi.